somewhere. So as far as I'm concerned, at 70 years old, I've been all around the earth. I've been all around the world. I've seen it all. I've heard it all. I've talked to everybody from politicians to gangsters to mafiosis to astronauts, scientists, physicists. My God, I've heard all the stories, and most people don't want to hear. Well, I'm going to tell you something. Probably this one's for free. I'm going to give you something that has taken me many years to find out. But this is a very powerful truth, that people will always support what they want to hear. People will not support what they don't want to hear. I mean, if you like country music, you're not going to pay $50 for a rap concert. If you like country music, or if you like opera, you're not going to pay money for a hard rock concert. So people will pay money to hear what they want to hear, to enjoy what they want to eat, go where they want to go. They will not finance anything to go where they don't want to go. Well, the one thing around the world that has always been known in all ancient cultures is that the one thing, generally speaking, that people do not want and will not support is the truth. People don't give a damn about truth. They want to be accepted in their society. So whatever the society is doing, that's what they will do, because they want to be, humans are gregarious. They like to be accepted by their fellow man. So the kids will always go along with other kids because they don't want to be shunned. And no child wants to be made fun of in a class because he stands out by himself because he's stupid. That hurts a young child. It hurts humans to be thought to be, kicked out of society. They don't want you around. That's very depressing. And so humans don't want to be, kicked out and left by themselves. But once in a while there comes along people who want to be left alone. They want to do their own thinking. Those are the Nikolai Teslas and the Albert Einsteins and the great minds that have come into the world, only to discover that they're in a world filled with morons. To the brim, we are filled on the earth. Across the world, we're filled with people who have IQs of 40 to 60. And, documentaries have been done on this. I mean, that's why they have IQ tests. You ought to look into that whole concept of IQ test, where that came from. Who started this idea of an IQ test? Well, we find out Illuminati came up with the idea. The masters of the human race came up with the idea for an IQ test. Why? Because they don't want fruitcakes and dimwits running their business at the top. So they want to pick out the children early in life who are showing signs of actually having a brain, and watch those children as they develop through junior high into high school. Watch their grades, watch the way they react. You're being watched. All children are being watched. And if they
let me interject something here.
Yes.
When my son was in kindergarten in California, he had a teacher he did not like. Now, I knew he was intelligent. So I spent 3 days taking him over to Stanford Research Institute in Palo Alto and having him tested. Now, what I didn't know then was that is a Project Talent sifting ground. Now, when I came back and we got the results, I said, what is he best at? Why is he having trouble in school? He said his IQ is over 170. I said, but he is a visual learner, not an audio learner. And they said, you're right. So I went back to the school board, and the first thing the school psychiatrist said, well, your son's hyperactive, ADD. And I said, pardon me. If you attempt to give my son Ritalin, I'm going to put a foot so far up your ass, you're going to think it's yourself.
Right.
I said, he is not ADD. He is a visual learner. This school system is failing him because all you want to teach is audio learners.
Yep.
I said, he questions everything because that's the way I raised him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. You are an oddity. if you have a brain, if you think and intellectually begin to question anything, people look at you like you're crazy. Because, there's something wrong with you. You read I've had people tell me that. My wife, my wife decided she'd had enough of me. Because when she left, she said, I don't understand. All you do is reading books and studying and questioning everything, and I've had enough of this. Why can't you be like everybody else and just go out and do what get a job and do what everybody else does? Why are you always reading and studying everything? And I just thought to myself, well, this is even my own wife. Even everything around me is just it's so depressing to be someone who loves wisdom, who loves knowledge, who wants to read and study and question everything. Come to find out that that's not going to help you a bit in this world. Nobody wants to hear any of that. And the few people who do want to hear usually are the ones who have had to pay the price to learn where wisdom really is and what knowledge really is. So I don't know where the world's going at this point. I don't have any control over it. But I'm really very fearful for the future, because young people are coming up today around the world having no sense of integrity, no sense of wisdom, knowledge, nothing. They live by the seat of their pants. They live on their emotions, and you see it in riots. You see it in the streets everywhere. I'm just amazed how much we don't know. And I think probably the biggest culprits who have helped to create this world that we live in is religion. And the people who gave you your modern-day religions are the same people who have given you your modern-day universities and government and commerce and banks and everything else. It's one big system. And
now that leads us into another question, if we can. How have what we've been talking about, how have we been misled by the Western religions into accepting the hidden political agendas?
Well, that's a biggie. I have to go all
I know.
the way back. That's a big one. I don't even know where to start on that, because it requires any kind of an answer to a question like that requires that you have at least a cursory understanding of secret societies, fraternal orders, hidden agendas in commerce and world commerce. You can't think on a level of American this or Chinese that. No, you need to think on a global level and look at the symbols and the words and the terms that international corporations and governments use, and then trace back for thousands of years monetary systems and world governmental systems. It's a hell of a story about how the world has evolved into what it is today. But basically, this whole idea about one particular people being holy and the rest of us are all a bunch of throwaways is ludicrous. Because when we see people, say in the Islamic world, who are saying that they are the only holy people on the earth, and everyone else is infidels, and they got to kill everybody else because their God, God said so. So they have to kill everybody else because they are the only holy people on the earth. And when you get into the Islamic religion, I mean, I have the highest regard for the people of the Middle East, because I've been to the Middle East. I've been to Egypt. I love the people, but I got to tell you, when you're looking at the religion that's come out of the Islamic world, Islam is not what you think it is. Islam is a world of difference than what you think it is. And it's based on all kinds of ancient occult stuff that was in existence before Islam, before Muhammad ever lived. And I am of the opinion, it's my opinion, based on 50 years of looking at this subject, that Muhammad never lived. I don't believe for a minute that there was a man named Muhammad. Not even for a minute would I buy that. I don't believe Muhammad ever lived. I know for a fact Moses and King David and King Solomon. None of these people ever lived. Even the best authorities in Israel are writing books and